In last week's video, we talked about how to be more influential with patients and how to have more influence over the decisions that they make. And I think we can agree that's something that's very important as a doctor if we want to drive outcomes and kind of guide the patient toward decisions that'll benefit their vision, their health, their quality of life. And in this video, I want to give you the reason for what I mentioned in last week's video about our dependence on emotions to help us make decisions. About 95% of our decisions are driven by emotions, not necessarily logic. You might have heard the phrase in sales, people purchase based on emotion and then they rationalize their decision with logic. And there's a lot of truth to that. Here's the reason we do that. Guess how many decisions we have to make in any given day on average? It's probably more than you think. It's about 30,000 decisions that we have to make. Now, that's just too many. If you really thought about that, and if you thought about, okay, how do I make a good 30,000 good decisions a day and do it, if we had to do some kind of a deep logical analysis of every decision, we'd never get anything done. So the truth is our brains actually don't spend a lot of time on decision making. Our brains look for shortcuts to help us navigate through life and make quick decisions. And one of the main shortcuts our brains use is emotions. So basically, when we give people a lot of information, the thinking side of their brain, or the frontal cortex, can take that information in, and it's great at analyzing and planning, but it's not really good at making decisions. So that side of the brain looks over at the emotional brain and says, hey, what do you feel like doing? And the emotional side of the brain sends forth a suggestion in the form of a feeling. And the majority of the time, we go along with whatever that feeling is. So I think to be an effective communicator, we really have to understand that and understand what these shortcuts are and align the way we communicate with how people actually process information and make decisions. And this is the difference. When I talk a lot about the difference between patient education and effective communication, patient education, which a lot of times it's just sharing information, patient education really only guarantees that people will hear what you say. But being an effective communicator, which is really what these videos are all about, increases the chances that people actually do what you'd like them to do in ways that are going to benefit them and hopefully benefit you as well as an optometrist and possibly a practice owner.